Alright, let's go ahead and get this morning started. Good morning, anyone who's watching this video. And if you're watching this video in the afternoon, good afternoon. And if you're watching this video in the evening, good evening to you. Or if you're waking up tomorrow and watching this video, well, good Saturday morning to you. Tomorrow I'll be recovering from a, gonna be a brutal hangover. Gonna enjoy myself tonight, considering the fact I'm actually feeling a little better from this allergy haven of a season. Hopefully anyone out there doesn't have too bad allergies. Alright, we're gonna kick this video off at 7:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. Gonna be going through a normal morning routine. Anyone new watching this video, thank you. I appreciate it. My previous video from yesterday actually got a decent amount of views, considering I only have a handful of sexy subscribers. If you do have a YouTube account, feel free to subscribe. I'm not really sure where this journey is going to take me. If you haven't seen my first couple videos, I got heavily invested in Mullen since March of 2022. Made a ton of money on that 700% run. Then I ended up losing it all, basically pretty much staying invested in Mullen. I was heavily invested in Mullen up until May 2023. And then I sold a bag for a gigantic loss after the first reverse stock split. Since then, I have been day trading and also swing trading Mullen. About 9 out of 10 times, if I day trade Mullen, I make money. I want to say if I swing trade Mullen, it is really 50-50, which is terrible because any other stock out there that I day trade or swing trade, I have like a 90% success rate. Very conservative day trader. I don't force plays. And as for my swing plays, I look at stocks with low RSIs that have been not really beaten down, just having like a hard time. But I don't really swing risky stocks like Mullen. Mullen there's so much going on in this stock, and the main premise of this video is going to be talking about a short attack that I do believe it was a short attack yesterday. And hopefully no one got sucked into it, because I've been sucked into so many short attacks before on this stock, and it really does suck more than anything. But going over a normal routine, news. I'm on Stock Titan. There's been no news posted to Mullen in over a week, which is very alarming. Very alarming indeed. Mullen is actually fairly good at posting news, but the stock runs on news. If the stock does not get news, then it just does not do well. Market cap is still below 35 mil. I think we're on like day 5 of their market cap being below 35 mil, which is a problem. They could be facing delistment. Stock Titan has their float at 6.33 mil. Outstanding shares, I believe, is 6.55 mil. So this has not changed. But then again, I don't know how often Stock Titan gets updated. But I have a good feeling that dilution is not happening, which is a really good thing in our case if you're invested in Mullen. Let's go and check some other stuff. I'm on Benzinga. David Mitchery, supposedly 83 mil. I don't know how accurate that is, to be honest. David Mitchery has not bought any shares of Mullen. If he were to, I think that would be a very, very good positive catalyst. Now, if he only bought like $10,000 worth of shares, that would be a slap in the face. But if David especially rebought the $5 million worth of shares that he sold before massive dilution started back in February 17, 2023, I think that would be a gigantic catalyst. If David took this money and basically pretty much did a purchase, which would really get me extremely lubed up, and yeah, I'd be probably horny again to go. I am never going to go all in on a stock ever again like I did with Mullen. Because that was a mistake that I made 2 years ago. But I'm definitely going to go a large position in on Mullen if I were to see something like that. Because that shows me that, okay, David obviously bought shares, so maybe it's time for a big turnaround. SEC filings, there's been no new SEC filings at all, which is not a negative thing. I mean, sometimes it's good that we don't get any SEC filings at all, which is a good thing. Let's go ahead and go over to the charts now. Where are you? Okay. Let's go ahead and close this stuff out because it really doesn't matter. Let's go to the 5-minute really quickly. So, as you basically see on the 5-minute, well, firstly, let's go ahead and talk resistance, these pivot areas. So, like I've been saying in these videos, for those of you that do not know, a pivot point is pretty much used off the previous day's high and low. Obviously, Mullen had a little bit significant of event yesterday, which we're going to be getting to momentarily. But if you have a wide range of, like, let's say a stock yesterday went up as high as 2% and it went down maybe 1%. These pivot levels, which you can go ahead and type in Google, type in on Google bar chart, BARCHART, and day traders, swing traders, we use pivot levels because they're an indication of breaking the previous day's like highs and low in a way. But yesterday we ended up breaking all the resistance points, and we'll get to that momentarily. So that's one of the reasons why these pivot points are all spread out. Now, is there a chance that Mullen is going to go down $3.51? Anything is possible. Do I really think so? I'm not a financial advisor, but if I had to guess, I would probably say no. Just because the previous day, these pivot points are so widely ranged in different areas. But we really got to see. I mean, Mullen has to hold. Mullen yesterday did not make a new all-time low, which was good. Okay, that was actually... I said in yesterday's video, I'm praying that Mullen does not make a new all-time low, but the all-time low is not a support. It is a psychological level, but it's not necessarily a support. Psychological levels, if you ask different types of traders, some will say yes, some will say no. I did a day trading academy last year, and I was being tutored by a 7-figure day trader, and he said psychological levels are not support or resistance type levels. What they're used for is they're primarily like rounded numbers. $4 is definitely a psychological level. However, it's very ironic that the S2 is actually at the $4 level. But as you see, the where are you? Let's go ahead and use this. So the R3 is $5.82. If Mullen breaks $5.82, we're definitely going to probably most likely going to try to get to $6. And if $6 is broken, that means that we have all this new area to play with from $6 to $7. However, along $6 to $7, you're going to have resistance areas. Because just because you broke a psych level of $6, or in reverse, just because you broke a psych level of $4 doesn't automatically place the next support at $3. Now you're gonna have Fibonacci levels. Now you're gonna have different pivot levels all the way down to $3. So that's the reason why that's how I got explained. I could be completely wrong, and like I said, different traders use different things. But these are the support areas for Mullen today, and as you see, we are well below the 35 million market cap. let's go ahead and go to, before we talk about what happened yesterday, let's go to the daily chart. RSI is still just at a all-time like low. Like, we are beyond oversold. And yesterday I kind of thought it was going to be, so I'll get to that in a minute, but we ended up wicking all the way up yesterday, which is good. The problem is that we didn't hold it. The problem is that we ended up having another red day yesterday. Yes, Mullen went down by 0.33% yesterday. That still counts as a red day, mofos. It really does. Which kind of really, it's sucky, but it's not like the worst thing on the planet. So today we definitely need to stay in this range. We definitely need to let the moving averages, the EMAs, exponential moving averages, basically catch up. Because right now we fell off a cliff. These moving averages need to catch up. We had a bottom. And I've been saying this in the last like 15, 16 videos of mine. We created a bottom 24 January. 24, 25 January, we started a bottom. So could we start a bottom down here? Could these 2 days be the bottom? And then maybe we naturally trend up and do something like we did back here. Can we do something like this? Yes, it is possible. However, we need news. Mullen runs on news, and we don't have news right now. We really do need a production update more than anything. But if you go ahead and look, especially in this area, this is when I actually started buying into Mullen. Now I currently do not have a position because I got knocked out of my position down here. But I'm looking to re-enter into a position and definitely make... I don't know if I'm ever going to break even with the stock because I'm still down a huge significant amount. But if everything plays out the way that it should play, hopefully I break even. However, if you notice these moving averages, the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, they're kind of like leveling out. And it's very shitty and unfortunate that Mullen did not continue to trade sideways or push up, kind of like I thought. Because then, if that were to happen, you would now have the other moving average, the 48 EMA, leveling out. And if you have all these EMAs, all these moving averages level out, then that's extremely bullish, and that signals a gigantic reversal. A huge reversal. But we're doing the opposite. As you see, everything is pointed down, basically, pretty much. So, I'm praying that we get some type of great miracle-worthy news. Okay, let's do a lawsuit update, because I did show this yesterday, and my video from yesterday actually got a decent amount of views. So, there was not anything updated for this lawsuit, and this is Mullen versus GM, which I guess is a positive thing. Obviously, Mullen yesterday had to be in court at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. I actually thought the little spike on Mullen was because of this, but who knows? Nothing has been posted here yet. From my understanding is that these things get updated fairly frequently, and it is still early in the morning. It's now 8:09 a.m. Eastern Time. So we might see an update here, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the courts are just, laggy and stuff. However, if we get news saying, hey, the judge did not dismiss this case, that is extremely bullish. The other lawsuit, this is the spoofing case. Nothing has been presented here. This case, I think we have until April and then May 6th. So this case is going to be a little longer. Little longer of a case, but in this case, the defendant basically pretty much asks Mullen to provide more information about spoofing. So this is the spoofing cases, and apparently Mullen provided a lot more information about spoofing, showing evidence that they actually had spoofing on their stock, which is pretty incredible, and it's also sad on our point of view. Whether you're an investor, whether you're a day trader, swing trader of Mullen, and you're lost money because of this bullshit, it's good in our aspect, but it's a shocker because even when I heard about this lawsuit, I was saying, you know, this is probably just fluff news, but this lawsuit could very well turn out to be something extremely big and shocking. Okay, before I get to this, let me go back and let's look at what happened yesterday, because this was actually talked about yesterday all over X, and we'll get to this momentarily. So basically around 11, or rather, let me go back a little further. So if you are a day trader and you're day trading stocks, your time to day trade stocks is typically around 9:35 is typically when I like to do my day trades. I always wait until the first 5-minute candle, because my strategy is the 5-minute candle breakout strategy. If you want to learn how to do that, you can literally type in Google, and you can also search on YouTube also. The 5-minute candle breakout strategy. It's very, very effective. It tends to work well beyond 82% of the time. And I've been using it for the last year, and I've made a decent amount of returns on a lot of these small cap movers. But from 9:35 up until around 10:45 a.m. Eastern time, you get a lot of the big volume. And if you notice, from this period of time, Mullen was just basically trading sideways. It wasn't trending down. It wasn't trending up. It was sideways. And I was looking at Mullen. I was watching. And I'm like, okay, so nothing is happening. I'm just going to, you know, watch other stocks and stuff. And I'm like, hey, we got no news. It's really nothing. But I've seen this so many times before. And this is the reason why that I use the EMAs, because when you're day trading, this is called a pitchfork breakout strategy. If you notice all these EMAs, all these moving averages, they look like a pitchfork right here in this area, right? This is a day trader's wet dream right here. When you see this, it is you're just going to ride the 9 EMA exponential moving average up. That's all you're doing. And we ended up breaking the R1, R2, R3 yesterday. We got as high as, I believe, like 16% on the day. And then you basically see just boom. Just trended down. We touched the 9 EMA, and then boom, just red knife. And then we rebound. Then we crashed all the way down to... So these moving averages are also support and resistance type areas. When you're trading stocks, day trading stocks, you're going to want to use EMAs as support and resistances. So as you see, the first moving average, the 9 EMA, we used as a support. And then we broke down, and then we touched the 21 EMA, which is the next support, and then we bounced back. We got above the 9, which was good, and then we got a red knife, a red wall, and then we broke back down to the 21 support. Tried bouncing a little bit higher, just could not do it. Broke all the way down to the 48 support. Pushed up, touched the 21, broke back down. Created double bottom, which is bullish. Tried getting above, broke above. Trended down again. Once more again, and then boom. Just if you entered a day trade on Mullen in this area and you exited in this area, you would have made profits. But if you entered, let's say in this area, you would have been stomped out. And I am not a I am not a flawless, perfect trader, human being. I have made mistakes on this so many times, but I truly believe that this was a manipulation. This was a short attack, because yesterday The volume on Mullen was 1.8 million shares. 1.8 million shares on Mullen. That is insane. So something was definitely happening. So anyways, around 11 o'clock, I was actually getting ready to walk my dog, and then I was going to start making lunch, and I started seeing a lot of my indicators going off. So I had my tablet with me, and I was about ready to walk out the door, and Mullen was just above like 5%. So I was quickly scanning everything. I was scanning social media. I was scanning stock time. I was scanning everything. I was looking for news articles, and there was nothing. There was no news articles, nothing. And I said, okay, I'm going to hold off. I'm buying in. I'm just going to watch. And I really did thought about buying in because honestly, I thought maybe some news got leaked about the court case. And I'm like, okay, because the court case was supposed to start around 11 a.m., maybe people got some good wind about the court case and people are buying in. Or big money is basically buying in, who knows. And then the stock just basically took off and the stock popped. And then it just got brought right back down in the course of less than an hour. Whenever you see a stock like this on absolutely no news, you stay the fuck away. I have lost a lot of money because I used to get, I used to have a lot of FOMO. I mean, I'm not a perfect, I'm still a very young trader. I got into the stock market 2020, but I've actually been legitimately trading stocks a little over a year and a half now. So I'm still a young trader. However, yes, there is still FOMO in my blood, but whenever I see something like this, what I keep telling myself is like, just watch it. Just don't do anything and just watch. And I was watching and and it basically hit right above 15%, 16%, and then boom. I'm like, yep, this was a typical manipulation. And the fact that 1.8 million shares were traded, there was no news, it's just really screaming for manipulation. And it's really sad because I guarantee you that a lot of people ended up buying in this area thinking that it was going to keep going. And I've done that before. I have done that, especially on Mullen. Mullen has done this so many times. And I'm not making accusations against like Mullen itself as a company. I'm just talking about the stock. Mullen stock has done this so many times, and I've lost a lot of money, and so have a lot of other people as well. But this is pretty much shorts just freeing up their position and then bringing people back down. And if you go to the daily time frame, you can basically pretty much see it. We fell off a cliff, which means short sellers have to sell. It's basically pretty much shorts selling their positions and shorts taking profit. If I had to take a guess at what this is, I would say short sellers are taking profits, hence the spike is going up, and then they're getting right back in. So picture if you have $50,000 invested into a stock, right? And you are up by 50% on your position. Are you not going to be taking some profits? You would be a dumbass if you didn't take some profits. So in the retrospect, short sellers could have very well been closing their position, taking profits, and then because of this, Mullen ended up spiking up, and then short sellers got right back in to take more shorts, to make more money. If I had to guess, that's what I would say pretty much happened. But let's look on X really quickly, because I want to show you guys a video. So this guy, BAM Investor, he was calling Mullen to go to 82 cents before the 1-for-100 reverse stock split. apparently he's very credible. He has a very large following on X. And he ended up calling the AMC squeeze. He called the GameStop squeeze. But then again, I mean, during 2021, market conditions were different. You cannot compare market conditions. You cannot say Mullen is going to squeeze like GameStop because 2021 was a different market condition. A ton of people were on margin accounts. But he posted a video yesterday, and I do want to play this video really quickly.
RF. So you can see you're almost a full minute into trading, and very few trades are round lots that are. This is me scrolling back to take a look at this going into the open, but you can see very few round lots are traded. And so all the rest of this garbage is just like a DDoS attack, slows things down, and none of it prints to the tick. So sort of gets in the way. But why TRF? It's pretty odd.
All right, so let's go ahead and look. Voice is crapping out. All right, hopefully you guys are still with me. What is TRF in stocks? Trade reporting facility. The FINRA, New York Stock Exchange, provides automatic, convenient, low cost off-exchange trades. Off-exchange trades. I believe they're talking about the dark pool. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's linked to naked shorts, or just short selling in general. If I had to take a guess, so what he's pretty much talking about, I don't really know why he just doesn't straight out say it. Maybe he's scared to actually speak the truth or make accusations, but this could have very well been a short attack on Mullen, kind of like a DDoS attack, denial of service attack, I believe that is, or disruption, denial of service. A DDoS attack is basically when a website gets hit repetitively with data, information, and it shuts down the website. So he's basically pretty much talking about how Mullen could be getting attacked to where you see a lot of these just like trading sideways, or potentially maybe even more manipulation than we can really see. Maybe there's a lot more going on in Mullen than we actually really know about. But I would personally say that this yesterday was just shorts selling their position, closing their position, and then reopening their position to take profits. Because Mullen has gone down so quickly. If you are a short seller, you would be stupid not to take profits. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Every single time I've seen Mullen do something like this, they don't really, unless they post news, there's just going to be like nothing gigantic on like the day and stuff. So I'm hoping we get news, maybe a lawsuit update. Production update would be amazing, especially collection of revenue. But I'm still praying, and I still do think that we could regain a lot of this area. We could definitely go from $4.50 very quickly up to $6, $7 very quickly. We just need the right piece of news. Alright, hopefully all of you got information out of this video, and if Mullen does drop news today, then I'll be making a video discussing the news as well. Otherwise, yeah, it's just we are in crazy times with this stock. Absolutely crazy.